This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
The Madras High Court asked the state to help a law student come back to his life. His shattered mother demands a case of murder to be filed. The High Court checks on the disparity in hiring foreign and domestic pilots. They allege separate standards. Morning or noon, the watering holes in the city turn to a street fight zone. Commuters bear the brunt. Can Chennai's women ever walk the roads peacefully? The city police encourages the use of helplines and more complaints. The stalemate between hospitals and health insurance companies come to a close as they resolve issues. And the Queen's baton touches base in the city. The king of the chessboards leads the way in the relay. This is the Late Night News on NDTV Hindu. I'm Evelyn Matthew. Let's also take a look at what's making headlines in the rest of the country. The Union Urban Development Minister cuts the great expectations of the Indian Army short. The organizing committee will not pay for officers on games duty. The threefold raise is finally here from 16,000 to 50,000 rupees, but the MPs are still not happy. The cabinet clears the nuclear liability bill after agreeing to change the language of the bill as demanded by the BJP. And Bellary becomes a lobbying ground for the BJP in the latest show of strength in reply to the Congress's Padyatra against illegal mining. Stripped, beaten up and left to die, law student Ashok Kumar is battling for his life at a city hospital after he was allegedly hit by police officers when he was taken to the Chengalpet station a few days ago on an account of a squabble. He is in a critical situation now at the Apollo hospital. Today, the Madras High Court asked the hospital to continue treatment for Ashok until further orders and not to insist on any payment until Tuesday. Regarding a petition asking the state government to bear the costs of the medical treatment, the Chief Justice wanted to know if the state was ready for the same. Ashok's college mates had earlier staged protest asking for action against the police officials who were responsible for Ashok's condition, but it was only yesterday that they had called off their protest after discussions with the college authorities. While Ashok Kumar is still recuperating at the Apollo hospitals, his broken mother is only hoping that the law will be on their side. She has now asked for stringent action against the police who allegedly attacked her son and has demanded a case of attempted murder to be filed for the same. Here's her narration of the torture her child was meted out with.
இந்த பீஸ் கறி கொஸ்ட் அது கிஞ்சி போயிருக்குது, பல்லு அடிப்பட்டு இருக்குது, நாக்கு அங்கே பாதி தையல் பட்ட மாதிரி இருக்குது, கிச்ச மாதிரி உதரெல்லாம் வீங்கிச்சிங்க, அப்படிலாம் இருக்குது. நான் வந்து கொத்தனார் வேலை தான் செய்து எங்கள் வீட்டுக்காரர் இறந்துட்டாரு, 3 மாதத்துக்கு குழந்தைய விட்டு இறந்தாரு.
Well, another story is making news. Indifference is ruffling feathers of a group in a city. The Madras High Court today ordered the Union Government and the Director General of Civil Aviation to consider the objections raised by a body called the Society for Welfare of Indian Pilots on the disparity between minimal standards adopted in the recruitment of Indian and foreign pilots. The society in a writ petition contended that the minimal flying experience and medical checkup standards adopted in the case of Indian and foreign pilots were very different. The advocate for that body told us that the issues raised in that writ petition.
Raises the minimal experience requirements, and as far as the medical requirements go, also there is a clause which says that foreign pilots will be assessed on the basis of Indian medical standards, but it doesn't very explicitly say that they'll be subject to the same standards in the same institutions as Indian pilots. For example, Indian pilots, they need to have their medical assessment, medical fitness assessed by the Institute of Aerospace Medicine. But this kind of thing is not specified in the new draft car, but nevertheless the court has said that any objections that the petitioner may have in respect to the draft car can be raised before the concerned authorities who will consider their objections.
Now in other news, while the dump of electronic waste from many other countries in the world is piling on the shores of Chennai, there are still few answers as to why they find their way there in the first place. In the latest catch by the customs, 8 containers of electronic waste have been confiscated by customs officials at the Chennai airport. In fact, the port itself. These include 127 tons of used monitors and CPUs, which arrived from Korea, Canada, Australia and Brunei. The Customs Department is still to decide on sending back these consignments.
See, Customs and DRI, we are on the watch for such consignments. Say, suspicious consignments are thoroughly checked and de-stuffed. And when we find that it's a waste, e-waste, or any other hazardous waste, then action will be taken against the importers concerned. Say, the goods will be, fine will be levied on the goods and penalty will be levied on the importer, and the importer will be directed to re-export the consignment back to the country of origin, and a time frame also has been given, that is 90 days.
Now, a few months ago, the death of a child in Puliantope in Chennai was linked to a medicine with a tampered expiry date. And ever since, the State Consumer Commission has taken serious view of trading in expired drugs. Our senior correspondent Peer Muhammad brings us the details of a recent judgment in this case.
Months after trading in expired drugs rocked Tamil Nadu, the State Consumer Redressal Commission has ordered a medical shop in Mayiladurai to compensate a customer who purchased eye drops which were sold after its expiry date. The compensation of 5,000 rupees comes though the customer's claim that his eyesight was affected was not proved in the court.
This is the case filed by the complainant against the medical shop where they supplied the expired medicine. Against that, they filed a complaint before the district forum, Nagapattinam, to deficiency of service and also pay a compensation of rupees 2 lakhs.
As the proof for expired medicine was accepted by the court, there is a feeling that the State Commission should have enhanced the compensation.
The Commission had found Exhibit A1, the concerned prescription or the batch number of drug which is produced before the court is sufficient evidence for purchase of this drug. The Commission, having found that the drug purchased belongs to the expired category, could have enhanced the compensation instead of confirming the same.
Expired drug racket seems to be never ending. But the customer Raja Raman, who took the matter to the court, is happy that he fought a good battle.
The irresponsible acts of medical shops have not stopped despite the government's crackdown. The State Consumer Commission's judgment against a medical shop is seen as a good beginning by the consumer activists. In Chennai, Peer Muhammad, NDTV Hindu.
Now, in a city like Chennai, it's not just murders and thefts that frighten people. This is unfortunately the age of dispute resolution with gundas. The neighborhood thug thrives with impunity only because people are scared to complain. Scared because many believe the men in khaki are hand in glove with them or they have political clout. Our crime reporter Salim travelled across the city to catch a glimpse of the ruckus created by such criminals.
The law enforcing authorities say they are able to keep the notorious rowdies under control. However, petty rowdies who create ruckus under the influence of alcohol very often challenge the law and order in the city. It's 10 in the morning. People loosen their purse strings to buy their share of booze at the Tasmac shop in Taramani. Heated arguments leads to assault. People attack each other on the main road, posing a threat to the pedestrians and motorists who ply this route. As shutters are pulled up, they rush for their swig. The situation worsens.
The Tasmac shop residential areas is a nuisance. It sets a bad example, it creates a lot of nuisance, public customer.
1 hour later in central Chennai, the scene, another Tasmac shop. This one located near a bus stop. We could not find a single commuter. The reason? It's now the haven of alcoholics. These addicts halt at the bus stop before they gear up to approach the shopkeeper for the second time. It's 1 p.m. The location North Chennai. Petty rowdies are out on the streets. The police say it's hard to eliminate them, but claim they are under control nonetheless.
See, any given situations, rowdies cannot be eliminated. There's a fact. But their activities can be curtailed to the minimum. They can be always kept under fear of, being caught by the law.
For cops, intelligence gathering plays a vital role in preventing crimes committed by notorious criminals. But they are forced to keep their fingers crossed when it comes to petty goons. In Chennai with camera person Madan, Salim for NDTV Hindu.
It's quite a pity that happens right in the middle of the day. Now, all the laws enacted with much fanfare, all the tall claims by authorities, all the theories propounded at seminars mean nothing to many women who are constantly at the receiving end of vulgar comments, even physical abuse at bus stops, at railway stations, shopping malls and even multiplexes. Pratiksha Ramkumar looks at why eve teasing is still rampant in Chennai.
The guy that I encountered, he totally stripped off and he was running behind me, and that was like really very scary. I didn't know what to do, but then I tried to escape from there because it was really very dark and he couldn't find me at a point of time.
Incidents like these on public roads are not new in Chennai, but still many young women like Monica are reluctant to report to the police because they think it won't help stop the menace.
I prefer to be silent and ignore it. Why would I go complain and get myself into some other traumatic things?
The government introduced an act in 1998 against harassment of women after the death of college student Sarika Shah. A police helpline was also set up. But do women really use it?
We get complaint, and the moment complaint is obtained, normally we take action accordingly. It's better that you come and complain.
About 500 cases of sexual harassment were reported in 2009. Colleges and organizations which did take the initiative to complain say that it has definitely made a difference to the students.
And eventually the patrolling increased, and they also kept a beat register in our college, where even till today they have been signing.
1091. That is the number women need to dial when they are facing a problem. The Egmore police station responds to the call. The police also patrol near women's colleges. Though these measures have cut down incidents of harassment of women, stamping out this menace completely seems to be far away. In Chennai, Pratiksha Ramkumar, NDTV Hindu.
Now, post the hammering during the recession, economy and affordability have been the buzzwords for the realty segment and ancillaries. A housing finance company called Aptus is the latest to join this bandwagon and hopes to exploit the burgeoning markets in Tamil Nadu with affordability as the USP.
Move over the great Indian middle class. That's the message that corporate India might be yelling out in the future, with India Inc. now targeting the unorganized sector as a market. The collective income of the unorganized space presents unprecedented and untapped opportunities which companies such as Aptus hope to milk.
To assume that they are very bad credit risk is a presumption. We need to have appropriate systems and processes to evaluate the credit and then and provide the finance accordingly. In our view, it is bankable, worthable credit risk, and we would want to go for it.
It is with this confidence that Aptus, a housing finance company, is taking the bold step of extending housing loans only to people operating in the unorganized space. In the context of such clients, the deficit in affordable housing is recognized by realtors and developers alike as the next driver for growth in realty.
The next 4 or 5 years, in my opinion, is going to be the era of affordable housing. That we need to operate on smaller margins and look at volumes. The days of the great killer are over.
It is this new mantra that promoters of Aptus expect will fuel their growth from a 135 crore company to a 1,000 crore company by 2012-2013. This new business model is in line with the broader industry trend looking to enter and profit from the untapped markets.
The unmet demand in this segment also is pretty high. For example, in the affordable housing, they are estimating something, the market potential is something about 11 lakh crores. So, so to that extent, there is a huge market untapped, unserved as on date.
But there appear to be some concerns with such a business model. The cost of such customized operation could impact the margins. Moreover, extending loans to the unorganized sector does raise issues regarding timely repayment of loans. In Chennai, this is Ashmit Kumar for NDTV Hindu.
Well, another one to Chennai's ever-growing realty sector. This is the late night news. Still ahead, 50,000 rupees is not enough of a raise. The MPs say their dils mange more. And the city may be 372 years old, but the old Madrasa's Elvis still hasn't left the building.